day, good evening, but likely when you're clicking on this video, it's going to be the morning time. Pelicans Daily, presented by Fan Arts. I'm your host, Dylan Bruton. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. When you're chilling with Dill, you already know the drill. Let's get right to it. All right, so free agency has officially kicked off. Woo, woo, woo! And we don't have much house money to play with. So, hey, it's all about spending wisely and moving smartly. That's our approach. We do not have the funds to just be throwing things out there, throwing stuff out there willy-nilly. We just don't. We just don't. But all thanks and praise due to that mid-level exception because we signed Cavon Looney. Now, is Cavon Looney a home run type of player for us to be signing? No. But it's the little signings that you make that go a long way. That's one thing I've realized in my years of watching ball, in my years of studying the game, picking up on different things. It's not always about, making the big, flashy acquisitions. It's not. A great comparison I can think of is in 2008, the Celtics, right? Everybody in the world was like, yo, how did they just get KG and Ray Allen? But you know what was one of the best acquisitions that they made? P.J. Brown. And by this point in time, P.J. Brown was, he had been in the league for about like 15, 16 years, but he was widely respected, great defender, could hit the mid-range jumper, and he played a big role as an off-the-bench big. He played some big minutes for the Celtics in the playoff series in 2008. So, am I saying that Cavon is going to be our P.J. Brown? No, but you never know. You never know. You never know till you try. Shout out to Outcast. And Goody Mom. Can't forget them too. But Chris Lambert was loving this move. I ain't see Chris this positive since I don't know when. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Chris Lambert and Cavon, they know each other. Families go back. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just shooting the breeze. But we signed Cavon Looney to a 3-year, $16 million deal. And again, as I said, that non-taxpayer mid-level exception. So that way we're not penalized under any hard cap, anything with the second apron. And, there's a lot of terminology that people just throw out there. I'm not going to sit and act like I'm the expert on that. I know ball, right? I know what goes on in the court. I know, building a roster. Those are the things that I know about. Some of the other language and terminology, I will admit, I'm learning as we go. Shout out to CJ McCollum because he's responsible as president of the CBA for this new NBA. So we're all learning together. That's the joy. One thing I think about what Aristotle said. I'm gonna paraphrase it, but the first rule of life, a man knows everything when he realizes he knows nothing. I probably butchered the hell out of that quote, and I took philosophy when I was in college, so it's bad. But anyway, right? We don't know everything. We don't know the future. However, this is a move that is going to help our players in the future. Because mind you, Cavon Looney, 10-year pro, 3-time champion, right? That type of veteran experience and championship pedigree, we do not have. We don't, right? And, Cavon Looney isn't going to be a guy who's likely going to start, right? He only averaged 4.5 a game, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1.5 assists last year. For his career, those numbers are around the same. 5 points, 6 boards, 1.5 assists. But it's about the intangibles that you can't teach through the ears, through the eyes, through the mind. The wisdom that can be passed down. Learning to be a better pro. These are things that are so valuable. And this is why, when the NBA tries to move away from veterans and just get the youngins up in there. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for the youngins getting their opportunity to shine. I mean, I say this like I'm not a youngin myself, quote unquote. But I get called Unk out here, man. I told y'all a couple videos ago. I got told, hey, you can round your age up to 30. I said, hey, yo, chill. Let me be. I turned 27 this year. Do I have to be escorted into Larry Holmes' flabby and sick age? I don't feel like I'm there. I'm young and spry, but it's cool. Hey, with age comes wisdom. With age comes experience that you learn and build from. And I've to briefly pivot, but I've lost friends over the years. So to still be here, to still carry their legacy with me, I take great pride in it. So you know what? If y'all want to call me Unc, go ahead. I mean, I kind of am anyway. I got older cousins who got kids, so to I look at them. Those are my nieces and nephews. So yeah, why not? Uncle Dill. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Anyway, Cavon is going to be uncle up in there, right? He's going to provide a veteran leadership that we don't have, right? We don't have many guys that are even over the age of 25. We got a lot of guys that are young. You know what I'm saying? I think DeJounte might be the oldest guy on the team right after Cavon now. So I think this is a good move. Chris says it's an A-plus move. A-plus might be pushing it. A-plus might be pushing it. Especially with the way Chris was talking during draft night. I ain't gonna lie. Chris, love you, my boy, but A-plus though? Really? Really? Cavon Looney. Of all the moves that we made on draft night, the way that Joe Dumars was standing on business, and this is the move you give an A+. Interesting. Teach his own, though. Teach his own. But I like the move. We had another big who can defend. We had another big who screens very well, and we had another big who, again, has championship experience, is a respected veteran. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about Cavon Looney. Now, I will say, I remember when Cavon Looney was coming up out of high school. He's from Milwaukee. So, like the Midwest circuit, pretty big, pretty widely known. And Ball His Life was like next KD. You had to be there for that. I was there for that, though. I was there when he was getting compared to KD. So, it's kind of crazy because he got to the league and he plays nothing like KD. But I think it's just more so just where he got drafted and when. I do wonder, like a player like him, if maybe if he had got drafted somewhere else, maybe he'd have a whole different career, whole different legacy. Who knows? But I think he's going to play a valuable role for us. I think he's going to be a good veteran leader. That's all we can ask for. Seriously. That's all we could ask for. Another big to add to our front court, add depth, and we move. We ball from there. So I'm excited. Y'all should be too. And, welcome to the Big Easy, Mr. Looney. Enjoy yourself. All right. Next up. Now, Andy Quake, also of Pelican Debrief, you know what I'm saying, wrote an article, covering the fact that we declined the player options for both Brandon Boston Jr. and Elfrid Payton. And I feel really bad for Elfrid Payton, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Played at Louisiana Lafayette. Well-respected veteran as well. A great passer. Still to this day, an amazing passer. And great defender too. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that. But unfortunately, we're going younger. But the Brandon Boston move, though, I'm not going to lie. Now, Andy over here was going, we're not a serious franchise still. Andy, much success and blessings and love to you on your journey, but you wildin'. You're wildin', right? You can't sit here and say that we're not serious when we're taking risks. We're taking chances, doing what other teams are too terry-cloth and cowardly to do. So I got a ixnay on the ixnay on that one, my friend. I'm not co-signing that one. I'm not jacking that. You on your own with that, buddy. You on your own. Brandon Boston Jr. as a player I do like, though, right? Averaged nearly 11 a game, 3 boards, 2 assists, 44 from the field, 35 from 3, high 70s in the shooting free throws. And he only had a $2.35 million team option, which is not much. But I'm intrigued because yeah, it is puzzling. I won't lie, right? He was a very good shot creator for us off the bench. He looked very comfortable out there at different times. And he's young. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy that was like one of the top prospects out of his high school class. And, he didn't have that killer freshman year at Kentucky, and he likely would have benefited had he stayed another year. But sometimes you gotta strike when the iron is hot. You never know. Injuries, other different factors, other players, and you don't want to miss your window. You just don't. So I get it. He's coming back from an ankle surgery this year as well. So maybe that's kind of just they're thinking about that and thinking about it. Well, like, okay, he's already coming back from an injury, and we want to have as much room for a guy like Jeremiah Fears. And then we still got DeJounte coming back. So to figure out how that pairing and duo works is a bigger concern. So I see it. I see it. But yeah, Andy Quake, I'm sorry if I butcher your name, my man. My bad. But saying that we're not serious though, really, we're gonna feed into that nonsense. I get you want to get your clicks up. You want to get to where Chris is at, where you're the headliner on the website on Pelican Debrief. You're the guy that people go to for Pelicans coverage. I get that, but I come from a journalism background as well. Don't mind me butchering the Aristotle quote. There's no need to be jumping off the reservation like that. You know, the who, what, where, and why and the how is not making sense here. So yeah, I'm not really rocking with that one. I'm just not. I understand the frustration. I understand the frustration in your sentiment. Absolutely, the more shot creators, the better. But we got a lot of shot creators. Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb can create a shot more than people give him credit for. Way more. Now Jeremiah Fears, Derek Queen as a big, Jose, Antonio Reeves. We are not hurting for shot creators. It always helps and benefits to have more. The more the merrier. Abundance over scarcity. But to be over here, pouring out your little negativity right now, right before Summer League, I ain't with that. But Andy, I like you. I do. And I want to see you do well. So, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We all got to answer for different sins when God calls us home. Or whatever your spiritual belief is. I don't know what your background is, Andy, but I'm not with this perspective, personally. To each his own. That's the beauty as a man, is I could say, you know what? I'm going to agree to disagree with you on that. But I also can walk and chew gum and say, I also acknowledge your frustration. I hear you. And I'm also curious to see the methodology, the reasoning why. But I'm certain there's a good reason, right? Again, President Dumars and Troy Weaver have been doing what they've been doing for a long time. They both have pedigree that precedes us. So I trust the people who are hired to do said job. It's not a crazy concept. It's not. If things don't pay off, if things don't work, then yes, that's when you have all these push the red button statements. But dude, it's not even the summer league yet. Like, you're over here. Oh, this is terrible. Where is Ja? At me, Ja. Like that level? Really? Maybe I misread it, but it's too soon to be panicking. Too soon. You're not built for the struggle if you're panicking right now. That's all I'm gonna say, nicely as I can. It's never good to cry over spilled milk. That's what I was taught young. You know what I'm saying? Or some of us probably remember, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. Fix your face before I give you something, right? Like, we're really crying about this? Okay, all right. Teach his own. Everybody does things a little differently. But to do something different, moving forth, I've yet to really talk about Carlo Makovich, and I'm so remiss on why I haven't. I've talked about damn near everybody on this team, and yet Carlo has gone under the radar. But a lot of y'all be reminding me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I went back, did a little film study watching him, and what was I doing? What was I doing? All right, what is going on, Dylan? What's going on? So Carlo, as a player, last year, you know, finally got his chance and opportunity. And he made the most of it. Averaged nearly 8 a game, 5 boards, a block, 57% from the field, 32% from 3, and 77% from the free throw line. And he especially made the most of his opportunity in the last 5 games of the season. Averaged 13 a game, 5 boards, 2 blocks, 51% from the field, 37 from 3, and 83% from the free throw line. Those are great stats. Those are very good stats. Or actually, oh, no, I butchered his stats. Sorry. He averaged 14 a game, 6 boards, and a block. Yeah. Those are. See, there we go. None of us are perfect, right? Hey, but one thing I learned with journalism, it's all about playing it smooth, playing it cool. So, anyway, I butchered the stats. I had to flip on the wrong page. But he averaged nearly 14 a game. That was 13.6. 6 boards, nearly a block, 61% from the field, 31 from 3, 60 from the free throw line. Had 16 10-plus games, including multiple games where he achieved his career high so far of 19 points. He's been compared to Isaiah Hartenstein and Chris Anderson, Birdman. What happened to that boy? Seriously, what happened to Bird? What happened to Birdman Anderson? I ain't seen or hear from him since Paul George dunked on him on the Heat. But I love Birdman's story. True trial and tribulation. I remember him on the Hornets. And he had some great years in Denver and Miami. But yeah, whatever happened to him. But I don't think that's a bad comparison. But I think the ceiling for Carlo was higher. I was rewatching this film and I'm going, this kid is confident. Okay, there I go call him kid. There's the Uncle Dill popping out. That's me over here feeling a little too old, a little too seasoned and grizzly. But the confidence, I really like the confidence, the way he shoots the ball, and the way that when he goes and dunks, he dunks like there's beef. I'm like, hey, Croatia, I know, like, y'all out there fighting with the Bears. They be on that 300 timing where they send the boys to the wilderness. They say, come back. If you don't come back, you can't come home. Okay, I don't want to be offensive with nothing like that. I do got friends from Eastern Europe, though, and they do tell me they are built different over there. Serbia, Ukraine, Croatia, they don't play games. And they also will drink you through a table. I'm speaking from experience of being on the other hand side of it, of going, I can't compete with y'all. Y'all are built different. But that's neither here nor there. But like I said last video, if I'm ever in town and y'all ever want to go out, pop on a Bourbon Street, you know who to call. I will be outside with y'all. That's how I go. But with Carlo, right, really love his game. Right, I have a better comparison. To me, I think he's like a perfect fusion, ceiling-wise. This is ceiling of him achieving. He's like the perfect ceiling of like Nene and Mehmet Okur. And I think he's got the athleticism of Nene, the above the rim ability, the aggressiveness, because a lot of people forget, like prior to Nene, kind of turning into like this Al Horford type of player, pick and pop, big man. Like when he first got drafted to the Nuggets, and it was just him and Melo there, he was punching it on people. He was ooh. He was doing all that, and that's the way Carlo plays. But then but then with the Mehmet Okur comparison, the floor spacing and the passing ability. He's a very underrated passer. I was very impressed by that. And the ability to put the ball on the floor. And that's with both Nene and Mehmet Okur. And, I beg to ask you guys the question: should we give him more looks? I'm curious to see what would happen. Right, everyone healthy. This because last year we had a lot of guys who got called up from the G League out of necessity. We had to sign guys because over 90 over like 90% of the roster was injured at one point. But how would y'all feel about a lineup of Eve and Carlo playing? Obviously we'd have to figure out from 3 to 5, like 3 to 1, who is going to fill those roles, who's going to fill those spots. But I'm intrigued to see what that lineup could do. They're both young bigs that play with a lot of physicality. They add a lot of size, they add a lot of strength, and then they play differently. You know what I'm saying? Eve is more of a back to the basket big. And not saying that Carlo isn't, but Carlo has the ability to catch the ball on the perimeter and, do something with it. More versus Eve is more so he needs the setup or he needs the post up opportunity. But either way, both are incredibly talented and both showed and proved a lot. So I think it's good that we're really building the big man room because that was an area of concern last year. There's a reason why we struggled on defense. There's a reason why we finished, in like 25 in terms of points in the paint allowed. It's not gonna cut it. You're not winning a championship, and you're definitely not making the playoffs with that. You're just not. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what would happen if you put those two players together. What can they achieve together? Why not? They're both the youngest bigs that we got on the roster next to obviously now Derek Queen and now actually no, Hunter Dickinson is older than both of them. Hunter Dickinson's like a year or so younger than me, which is crazy. But hey, it's never too late. It's never too late. Don't let anybody tell you that there's an expiration on your dreams. I saw 2 Chainz back in April. Amazing performer. It was dope. Great catalog. You know what I'm saying? He's a prime example of someone who didn't become when he was Titty Boy, right? That's going back to Player Circle. Some of the viewers, y'all know, y'all was outside. I was semi outside. I had to learn from my big homies and my cousins and all that. But he's an example of someone who there was no expiration on his success. And I think the same with someone like Hunter Dickinson. But with the youth that we have in this big man room, and now obviously we got Cavon Looney. He's going to be the elder statesman. He's going to be the big OG. But now with more youth, do we experiment? I'm intrigued. And I really can't wait to see our Summer League roster get announced because that's going to be interesting to see, like, okay, that's kind of, a preview of, like, what young guys could be paired with who, what lineups work with what younger players. And then you then think about, okay, like, now how do they fit with the mainstays, the guys that already went through that process of being in the Summer League and having to get their stripes up, get their bones, make their bones, do what they got to do. So my answer is yes, I think we should. Why not? It doesn't hurt to. See what he can do. That young man gets up. And honestly, if he keeps getting the highlights that he gets, the NBA All-Star game is for sure gonna maybe think about, hey, you really like to dunk the ball. Can you do some, fancy stuff with it? I mean, obviously Zion is like the ultimate headliner for the dunk contest. Like we need, like, that's why I'm like, where is Zion? Or where is Ja? Where is Ant? Like, yes, we need those caliber of players to be in the slam dunk contest. But if we can't, right, you got to think about who is constantly punching it on the opponent. So, little food for thought, little something, little appetizer. Not the entree, just a little appetizer. But we have made it to my favorite part of the video, responding to y'all. And given I didn't have a crazy amount of stuff to talk about, just day one of free agency, I can respond to a few more comments. So first, Brandon713, this comment warmed my heart. Much love. I'm enjoying your show as much as I'm enjoying this offseason. New listener as of a month ago. Well, Brandon, my man, welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Stay tuned for more videos and appreciate the support. Thank you. Primetime Pelicans. Great show. Keep bringing the good vibes and in-depth analysis of the Pelicans. Much love. Much love. That's what I do it for, right? I want to make sure always that anything that I'm saying to y'all is coming from a well-researched position and objective and just genuine and natural. That's it. Just think of it like I'm in your living room right now, yelling to you about the Pelicans. Some of y'all are like, man, I got babies, man. You can't be over here yelling in my house. So I'll speak on room temperature level. I cracked myself up. He said everyone needs to look at other trades, and then they will see our trade as a good or decent trade. Thank you. Yes, because look, the NFL to pivot to the NFL, right? There was a trade that just happened for Jalen Ramsey and Minkah Fitzpatrick along with Jonnu Smith. I don't know why. That does not make much sense to me. I get it that the Steelers needed more corners, but Minkah going back to the team that tried. It doesn't make no sense. It make no sense. Make no sense. It does. Goddamn. Shout out to Young Boy. It don't make no sense to me, right? We, on the other hand, in the NBA, we made a trade that addressed a need, and we got a high value player. So what is the issue? What is the problem? It's not like we reached for a guy that was a projected second round pick at pick 13. Like I'm tired of the I don't want to say gaslighting, that's too cliche. But I'm tired of the misreporting. I'm tired of the inauthenticity. I am. Like that we made a smart trade. Yes, losing a first round pick hurts, but what's to say we can't trade back into there? One of these teams is going to get desperate. That's when you strike. Come on, But much appreciated. Don Cardinal, 912, bringing that energetic enthusiasm to the solid takes. 1K in sight. Let's go. Yeah, you peeped. Don. Hey, you peeped. We are in sight. We are getting closer and closer as the day goes by. You know what I'm saying? 68, I just checked. Yeah, 68 left. So much love, y'all. It's been an amazing journey these past couple months or so. So I'm really, even less than that. So y'all really been like showing love and support, and especially like recently. So really do appreciate it. I love this one, Jay Gutter, because this is facts. So Jay Gutter 5047. Let's go Pelicans. We're not worried about what they say. They just hating. Facts. I've been hearing hate about the Saints damn near my whole life. People tell me about the brown paper bag era. Well, we got a Super Bowl championship. If you don't got a Super Bowl, what you talking to me about? Seriously. And with us, we're going to get a championship at some point. Make no mistake. Is it going to happen overnight? No. But nothing is built overnight. Nothing. Anything that is worth having in life, this is just a message of life. Anything worth having does not come overnight. It takes time. You got to be ready. Because what happens when that blessing comes and you're unable to properly receive it? Look, I can sit and say I definitely have fumbled opportunities in life, fumbled great women. It hurts. It's not fun, especially the fumbling the great women part. But, when you're not ready, you could potentially ruin a great thing. So we're taking our time, taking our time to give you a piece of my mind. Shout out to Melissa Morgan. But we're taking our time. We're building a team from the ground up, and we're building a new culture. These are not things that just happen overnight, but we can see rapid result, and that's exactly what I think. But yeah, he's always gonna have New Orleans teams, but we love it. No other fans like Louisiana. Facts, ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. So I'm getting myself down there at some point. Make no mistake. So hey, Jay gotta tap in with me. Um uh I really like this one a lot. I really like this one a lot. Um Jamil, Jamil Dunn 5175. I stand with President Joe, baby. Facts. Hey, look. Ain't no other President Joe out there, but I stand with this one. Damn right. Shout out to President Dumars. Shout out to him. Shreveport legend. McNeese legend. NBA Hall of Fame. Like, the pedigree speaks for itself. NBA Exec of the Year. Speaks for itself. So I'm with President Dumars. I believe so should y'all. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm very excited, and I appreciate all the love. And I think the last comment that I really liked. Actually, no, I can respond. Yeah, two more. Shek68 said, "I think we're gonna roll our current team and be a top 5 seed." Ooh, yeah, Sheks. Yeah, woo, 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 woo. I like that. Hey, look, crazy as it is, the West is more wide open than people are realizing. We're going to see with free agency. Promise you. Now, hey, top 5, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not. If everyone stays healthy, keyword, everyone stays healthy, and everyone is clicking on all cylinders, we do have a top 5 talent level team in the making. Keyword is saying in the making. They got to develop. Things got to happen naturally, but nothing is impossible. The only thing is impossible is what you tell it, right? Only what you tell yourself. It all comes down to mindset. It all comes back to how you look at it. So, hey, I'm hyped. But a little love to Eve. I like this one. Missy's going to surprise us this year, putting in work as our rooks get up to speed with the NBA game. Facts. I didn't like some of the comments that I saw, like, videos ago of saying, like, nah, Eve doesn't have a high ceiling. Eve is not going to amount to much. I'm like, did y'all not see what he did this past year? He made all-rookie second team. Nobody had him picked to make all-rookie second team. He was seen as an incredibly raw prospect. There were people saying that we reached, and look what he proved in year 1. The young man wants it bad. You can tell he loves the game. He loves being here. I'm excited for Eve's potential. I think Eve has a lot of potential, and I think now with a leader in that the locker room for the bigs, can't even speak. Specifically for them, I think it's gonna have a great impact. There's a lot of wisdom that Cavon Looney can pass down to Eve. So I'm excited. I love Eve. I'm rooting for him. And it's the last one I'm responding to because I gotta salute. This is a real fan right here. But Todd Withrow, J2Y. Let's go Pels, baby. Die-hard fans since they was in Charlotte. Moved to New Orleans. Let's upgrade smartly after what we did in the draft. Shock the world. Make playoffs this year. Love your videos. Let's go Pels. Yo, Todd. Much love. And you a real one for being a fan since the Charlotte days. Because people like to forget that time period. People like to admit that. I don't know why. There was some great years. It was. Yo, the Hornets in the 90s was fire. They just had the misfortune of being in the same conference as Michael Jordan and the Knicks and the Pacers and the Heat. But there were some great teams. Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, Kendall Gill, Muggsy Bogues, Johnny Newman. Like I could go on. And then like later on, Baron Davis. Like there's been some great players. And obviously, Chris Paul, the best player of our franchise history. I want us to bring him back. I mean, I covered that a couple of some videos ago. I want us to bring him back. You know what I'm saying? That 08 team was special. David West, Peja, Mo Peterson, Tyson Chandler. Like, That was some great years. And the 80 years, there was some great times too. So yeah, man, salute to you and appreciate you for being a diehard fan and not giving up. Because, it's easy to jump ship. It certainly is when you see some things and witness some things. But I respect it. And I also appreciate that you've been, you've been rocking out and supporting. And facts. Let's go shock the world and let's go to the playoffs. That's the mentality. That's the energy. First and foremost, ain't nothing lower, ain't nothing less. That's the goal. Overall, I just want to see improvement. I do. And as long as we're out there giving it our all, fighting for every loose ball, diving, diving in the stands, doing whatever it takes to win, that is a win for me. Because if we build our culture into one where guys are, they're going to war for one another, then that's how you start. That's how the seeds are planted, right? And then you get to later on enjoy the fruit of the labor. That's the goal. That's all. We want to be able to kick our feet up, you know what I'm saying? And enjoy it. But hey, it takes time. These things do not happen overnight. They don't. But hey, if Todd can believe he been here since the Hornets, what is y'all excuse? Todd, I appreciate you for letting me use you as your excuse. I mean, as an example, not excuse, as an example. But yeah, if Todd could be a fan since the Hornets days, what's stopping y'all? Don't jump ship. It's way too soon. Cause when the going gets rough, yeah, it's easy to leave. But when the success comes, when we get back to being a team that is kicking butt and taking names, we literally won 49 games 2 seasons ago. When we get back to that level and better, don't hop on the bandwagon now. Do not. You will be escorted out. You will be denied. You will not be let in because you had a chance and you lost it. Why? Because you didn't believe in the vision. And ain't no spin back here. This ain't no Nelly and Ashanti, All right. I'm getting out of hand. But anyway, right? No. This is the time now to invest in Pelican stock. This is the time. Buy now. So, hey, needless to say, that's all I got to say. But I appreciate y'all. The love and support has been so real. It's been a joy. It's been a blast. This is a highlight of my day. So, hey, I appreciate y'all for being part of it. Sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. I'm so excited for Summer League, for the rest of this offseason, preseason, training camp, all that, and the season. I'm excited. We're not the same team, and we're gonna be a way different and a way better team. So I'm excited. I'm hyped. Y'all should be too. But anyway, y'all. Much love. I appreciate the support. Thank you for constantly tuning in. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Like my man. Oh my gosh, why can't I find his name? What's the name? Feel like I'm in SpongeBob right now. Like my man Don Cardinal 912 said, 1K in sight. Facts. Let's get to 1K. And from 1K, keep going, keep growing. Y'all been on this journey with me. It's only right we celebrate. But anyway, y'all have a great rest of your day. Spread some love. Watch some Pelicans highlights. Get excited. A new dawn is upon us. Have a great one, though. Looking forward to see y'all in the next video. Ciao.